Um, the first place, it gives me great joy to see the Arunachal Mission. In as much as that, we have never thought that the Arunachal Mission would develop the way that it has developed. We never had any plans. We just ventured and it has grown. So, for me today, it is a moment of joy, happiness, and of gratitude to God. It is not a human being, it is the work of God. It is God's hand that has really formed, we can say, the Arunachal Mission, and the work of evangelization has really progressed because of the God's intervention. We went to work in Arunachal Pradesh at a time when Christianity was not allowed at all. We were not allowed, we were not permitted inside, but in the Salesian way, we managed to get inside Arunachal Pradesh. Don Bosco, as you know, he did marvels with his young people. And he sent young confreres to the missions, trusting them, believing that they will do a great job. And that's exactly, I think, we also, the fathers who worked in Arunachal Pradesh, had that same vision. Young people who were our students, they were made enthusiastic, they were imbued with that missionary spirit, particularly in our schools, in our colleges, and they were baptized, and then they became the real apostles of Arunachal Pradesh. It is the youth, the Salesian way of entering into the families, entering into the hearts of people. And this is not the story of Arunachal alone, it is also the story of entire Northeast, where our collaborators, where our past peoples really worked hard and brought the gospel message to the people. And so this is my experience. And that young people can really do great work. If they are enthused, if they are motivated, they are ready for anything. At a time when there was persecution, at a time when they knew they were going to be deprived of their scholarships, at a time when they knew they would be expelled from the schools and hostels, these young people came forward courageously and preached the gospel and spread the gospel in Arunachal Pradesh. Another experience, or one which I would really nourish and remember, is the way that Arunachal Pradesh mission grew was not because of that we could go directly and preach, or because we had a lot of money or anything, but the relationship that we were able to build up with the people, the relationship that started actually with Father Kulandir Swami himself, who was the pioneer in Harmuti mission and was the pioneer of Arunachal mission. He started welcoming the people. He welcomed them. Arunachal Harmuti mission was bordering Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, and the people from the hills would come down for marketing. They had no place to stay. They had no much food. And at that time, the Harmuti mission became a home to the people of Arunachal Pradesh. They were provided food, they were provided accommodation, and then there was a relationship that was built between the father and the people. And once a relationship is built, people take to whatever we say. They are ready to follow what we say. And they watch our life, the type of life that we build, we live, and they are ready to emulate that life. And so this relationship paved a great way for the imparting of the Christian message to the people of Arunachal Pradesh. Today, as missionaries, do we have time for the people? Do we consider when people come to us as nuisance that disturbs our timetable? I have my office work. But in the mission, every soul that comes to us, every person who comes to us, we should feel that is a person sent by God. Just think about Philip meeting the eunuch on the way. A small encounter, but that encounter helped the conversion of that eunuch, and he believed in Jesus Christ. And this is exactly what we have to do. We may not have a great big crowd to preach in front, but we may have one person, and one person can transform the entire area. One person can. Think about the Paul. He was just one person, but that encounter with Christ helped him to transform, and he became a great apostle. We also have to be the same way. And one encounter that we have with a person is very important, because we do not know how things are going to change. One very important aspect that we need to have, or to inculcate the missionary spirit, is to know that missionary vocation is a very special vocation. It is not anybody can communicate the message of Jesus Christ. In order to communicate the message of Jesus Christ, we should be convinced that we need to be apostles. Why were the apostles able to do great work? Why they were ready to sacrifice their life? Why they were ready to be killed, to be martyred? All because they were convinced of the fact that they needed to preach Christ. They were not afraid of, St. Paul says, neither cold, neither heat, hunger, or persecution. Nothing can stop me from the spreading of the word of God. So that conviction we need to have. That conviction that we need to have. Unfortunately, these days, we are not fired with that zeal. It is not that the mission work is complete already. It's not completed. There is much to be done. Think about the millions. Think about the people living around us. So many people who have not yet heard the message of Christ. And so we need to be really convinced of it, to be committed to the call. And as we begin our religious life, as we begin our priestly life, what is the first thought that we have? What would you like to be? Which is the first appointment that you would like to get? That will tell you what is your mentality. Is it the thirst of Don Bosco, which says, Dami Arimas Chetanat Porle, or Dami Arimas, the principal of Don Bosco College, Itanara? Or is it, give me the administratorship of this particular house or that particular house? It's good to examine and see what is the first appointment I would like to receive. Is it to be to the villages, to go and spread the gospel when we are fired with the zeal as a young religious or as a young priest, which is very, very important. And when we encounter the persons, remember that we are not only going to give them something, but let's also take something from them. They also have something to contribute to us. It is not that only. There is a certain element of Christianity present in every human being. There is an element of the attitude to love, the attitude to help people, the attitude to be cared. All these, the Christian virtues are in a very little way present in that human being that we meet. So what we try to do is to bring out the best through our missionary work, through our encounter. We complete what is lacking in that person. Maybe the complete knowledge of God. They may have some knowledge of God. They may not have. Just like Paul, who in the Athens had said, I come to speak to you about the unknown God. The unknown God. That should be our attitude. They have not to despise anybody, but there is always goodness in human being. There is always the good qualities in human being, and then we try to bring out the best. In the missionary life, we have to face joys and struggles. Joys of rejection, maybe. We are hoping to get into a village, maybe, or we are hoping to go to a place that we may meet with rejection. We may have struggles with ourselves, maybe struggles with the society. Today, these days, we find Hindutva is a big challenge to us. The way that RSS work, the way that they try to spread their message and try to permeate in our Christian communities and how to destroy the Christian communities. And these are the struggles that we will have to face in the future. And so we have to be prepared for these struggles, how we are going to face them, how we are going to meet them, and how we are going to encounter them. And that is possible only when we are really strengthened and when we are really fully convinced and remembering that the mission work cannot be achieved in 1 day or 2 days. Conversion is the work of God. It is not our work. It is God who converts. We had a press conference in 1978 in Shillong, where Moraji Desai came, and there was a press conference, and Father Silvanus, he went also for the press conference, and then in the course of discussion, Father Moraji Desai told Father Sgi, he said, Father, you are trying to convert people. That Father Sgi, in his very, very intelligent way, he said, Sir, we do not convert people. God converts people. We do not convert people. God converts people. And so, that is what we have to also be convinced. It's God who converts. But we are instruments. We are the medium, we can say, by which God makes use of us for His work, for bringing people to Himself. So, it is important that we are convinced about it and we do our level best. The struggles that we will meet also will be with regard to the cultural differences we have, the loneliness, the spiritual dryness, all those things we will have in the missionary life. To a great extent, we can say that when we go for our missionary tours, the place to sleep, or maybe people reject us, all these are the struggles that we have to face. And as missionaries, we must be prepared for that. At the same time, as missionaries, we'll be also witnessing the transformation that takes in the society. They're witnessing the transformation. Today, when we go to Arunachal Pradesh, every person speaks about thanks to Christianity, the people are no more the same. We are transformed people. The people have transformed. And that would be another joy of a missionary to see societies transformed, individuals transformed, families transformed. And that is really the missionary work. And that will be a great joy for all of us. The mission work continues. Until the end of the world, we will have the mission work. And we can only say we have done the best that we can. It will continue, and God will see that He continues to send missionaries into the world. But as I said, what is most important would be our conviction and our desire to spread the word of God. Availability is one of the most important things for our people. When people come, to be available. When I say available, to a great extent, we can stretch that term availability to many things. I am available to them when they need maybe little financial help. I may be available to them when they need an admission for their child. I am available when a person is sick. I am available when a person is in a moment of great sorrow. I am also available in their moments of joy. There is no time when we can say, I cannot be available to the people. Availability to the people is one of the most important things, and that will greatly help our missionary work. And during their problems, we assist them. And we can say that even Jesus Himself, what was the greatest missionary work that He did? His greatest missionary work was He was available. He was with the people. And that was the way that Jesus went around preaching. Of course, I have many more points, but I think my time is over. Thank you.